Tawanan lahat ng iyong all-time hits. Ang tanging huntahan ng Masanggamaw. Number 1 sa Mega Manila. Nationwide pa. TVH Group of Networks. Dito lang sa inyong iisang himpilan. You are listening to Cool FM. Live from Cool Studios. This is koolNews at 6. TVH Group of Networks. Dito lang sa inyong iisang himpilan. Cool FM.
Good evening. And welcome to Kobe's at 6. I'm Carl. Senator Grispo on Sunday expressed sadness and extended her condolences to the family and loved ones of Rico Entertainment founder Lily Monteverde, also known as Mother Lily, who died at the age of 85. Poe described her as a titan in the Philippine movie industry. Monteverde's death was confirmed by her son, Godwin Monteverde, on Sunday. I'm so sorry and sad to hear about Mother Lily's passing. My ninang mother always believed in me and assured me whenever I doubted myself, Paul wrote in a Facebook post. She has helped so many and she will never be forgotten. She was and will always be a titan in the Philippine movie industry. Our deepest sympathies and condolences to her family and loved ones, she added. According to reports, Monteverde died almost a week after the death of her husband, Leonardo Father Remy Monteverde, last July 29. Throughout her career in show business, Monteverde has produced over 300 films such as The Monopo Analogy, Scorpio Nights, Blue Moon, Shake, Rattle and Roll series, and My Mother Mom, among others. The Bicol region has achieved full digital transformation following the launches of the mobile application eGovPH and the platform eLGU. The Department of Information and Communication Technology, DICT, Bicol said on Sunday. According to DICT Bicol Officer in Charge Rachel Ann Grabador, preparing the region for digital readiness is crucial for creating an environment that meets the diverse needs of its people. The DICT is dedicated to spearheading the digital transformation to streamline bureaucracy and ensure government services are accessible to all, irrespective of location, gender, or socioeconomic status, Grabador said. The eGovPH, a mobile application, and the eLGU system are robust platforms designed to facilitate seamless online transactions with the government, ensuring they are easy, efficient, transparent, accountable, and cost-effective, she added. Grabador also announced the final leg of the eGovPH launch scheduled for Monday, August 5 at the resort in Dagat Town, Camarines Norte. The initiative aims to further promote digital inclusivity across the region. According to recent data from the DICT, over 80% of municipalities in the Bicol region have adopted digital governance solutions, marking a significant milestone in enhancing public service delivery. The initiatives have enabled smoother interactions between citizens and government entities, contributing to a more responsive and efficient public administration. The temporary restraining order issued against Manila Electric Coast, or known as Morocco, bidding for two new power supply deals has been extended to 20 days from the initial 72 hours, the Taguig Regional Trial Court's order showed. In its order issued on August 2 but made public over the weekend, the court said the TRO against the power distributors bidding would be extended after evaluating afterfits and sworn testimony provided by the plaintiffs, composed of operators of the Malapaya gas project. The Pagkanilang power distributor giant had set bid submission deadlines for the 600 megawatts and 400 megawatts contracts on August 2 and 9 respectively through competitive selection process. However, the consortium operating the Malapaya gas field, Prime Energy and Prime Oil and Gas Incorporated (UC38 LLC) and the Philippine National Oil Exploration Corp. Filed a complaint against Morocco over the planned bidding, alleging the indigenous gas could suffer an adverse impact if pushed through, with the country's energy security also at risk. Morocco virtually waived its right to reply when it presented no evidence to overturn the finding, the court said, pertaining to the earlier TRO it granted. The extension given is without prejudice to the resolution of the merits of the complaint, which shall be thrashed out in a full-blown trial. Let further proceeding for the parade writ of preliminary injunction be set on August 28, 2024 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it added. In a statement, Prime Energy's Managing Director and General Manager Donna Bell Guidson Cruz said that unless the court permanently stopped the CSP's power generating firms using imported LNG, liquefied natural gas, and coal would dominate the energy sector, defeating several government objectives, reduce pollution, lower power rates, and promote local fuel industries. On the other hand, the SC38 consortium said earlier that it seeks clarity on its role in the energy market in the same way that generators and distribution utilities need clarity. There are a number of conflicting parties relative to the prioritization of indigenous resources and its implementation as part of a competitive selection process, among others, it said. Upon market rules being clear and established, we can all fulfill our respective roles to propel the market forward and ensure long-term energy security beyond the next few years for a dependable, equitable, competitive, and reliable power sector, it added. Morocco has yet to reply when asked for comments. In a previous statement, Morocco stressed it was our mandate to ensure that we conduct these in a timely manner, as delay will expose our consumers to unnecessary burden in the amount of billions of pesos in the form of higher power rates. The anticipated initial public offering of GCash looks promising as its valuation doubled to $5 billion with new funds from Alia Corp and Japan's largest bank, MUFG Bank Ltd. Globe Telecom, parent firm of GCash operator Mint, stated Alia's AC Ventures Holdings Incorporated acquired another 8% in GCash for 22.9 billion pesos, increasing its stake to 13%. The deal involves subscription to 157.62 million common shares priced at 145.372 pesos each. MUFG, in a separate statement, said it injected $393 million into Mint, representing an 8% stake. The Japanese company has been investing in digital startups across the Asia-Pacific region, including online lending app Home Credit Philippines. The recent fundraising activity is yet to be finalized. Investment banker Morgan Stanley was the exclusive financial advisor to Mint for the transaction. Further, another investor is expected to join Mint as the conglomerate of the Zobel-Beck family is also currently in discussions with a party who expressed interest in acquiring a portion of its ownership stake in the GCash operator, Alia said. No further details have been provided yet. AP Securities Incorporated research head Alfred Benjamin Garcia said the entry of the new strategic investor would bode well for the company that has been hinting on a stock market debut. Getting this visibility of the potential valuation of GCash would boost demand for the IPO, and if and when it happens, Garcia told the Inquirer. China Bank Capital Corporation Managing Director Juan Apollo Golet meanwhile said it was now expected that the IPO would be priced higher than the latest valuation of $5 billion. That could potentially make it the largest IPO in the Philippines, assuming they decide to list in the local market, Carlet told the Inquirer. In 2021, consumer goods company Montainistan Corporation made the most successful market debut in Philippine history after raising 48.6 billion pesos from its IPO. GCash, for its part, has been gearing up for a public offering that can help it further scale the business. The company previously said an IPO could be launched by the second half of this year, but GCash eventually eased on its stance, saying it was still elevating the stock market first. Globe Group President Ernest Chu earlier even said there was no hurry to go public. The investing public welcomed the equity deals, with Globe's shares second most active stock, climbing by 2.59% to 2,218 pesos each yesterday. The share price of Alia, however, fell by 0.25% to 590 pesos. The fresh deal made GCash the first unicorn in the country to achieve the $5 billion valuation, a marked increase from $2 billion from the last funding round in 2021. Back then, Mint achieved double unicorn status with a $300 million equity investment from global investment giant Warburg Pincus, New York-based global private equity and venture capital firm Insight Partners, and Bellwave Capital, one of the company's existing investors. Prior to capital infusions from Alia and MUFG, Globe and Chinese business magnate Jack Ma and Group held ownership of 35% and 24% respectively in GCash. Due to confidentiality reasons, we are unable to disclose the exact percentage of shareholding post-transaction, but Globe and Ant remain two of the major shareholders, the e-wallet brand told the Inquirer. Mint tripled its net income to 6.7 billion pesos last year. The homegrown brand has been expanding its presence abroad, including the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia, Italy, Japan, Germany, Spain, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and South Korea. Now, for international news, the Vatican said Saturday it was saddened by certain scenes at the Olympics opening ceremony that gave offense to Christians, as controversy rages over a segment some say lampooned Jesus' Last Supper. The July 26 show included a scene featuring dancers and drag queens that some said was reminiscent of depictions of the Last Supper. The final meal Jesus Christ is said to have shared with his apostles. Although organizers have said they intended to portray a pagan feast led by the Greek god of wine, Dionysus, that explanation has not dulled the criticism. The Holy See was saddened by certain scenes at the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympic Games and can only join the forces that have been raised in recent days to explore the offense given to many Christians and believers of other religions, said the Vatican in the statement written in French. It is a prestigious event where the whole world comes together around common values. There should not be allusions ridiculing the religious beliefs of any people, it said, adding that freedom of expression finds its limit in respect for others. Earlier this week, Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who hails from an Islamic-rooted party, said he will call Pope Francis to express his condemnation of the ceremony, saying it showed immorality against all Christians. Attacks have also come from former U.S. President Donald Trump, Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and a group of French bishops who cited a mockery of Christianity. The Vatican did not cite specific parts of the opening ceremony, but the controversy has focused on a segment called Festivity that began with a group of dancers and drag queens sitting around a long table. The show's artistic director, Thomas Joly, has said he intended to send a message of love, a message of inclusion. The spokeswoman for the Games Organizing Committee, Annie Descamps, said on Sunday, "If people have taken any offense, we are, of course, really, really sorry." And double amputee Vitaly Psycho, a veteran of the war in Ukraine, compares the artificial limbs made for him by a Britain-based prosthetics specialist to a sports car. This is individual work. It's like making a Lamborghini. It's a sample according to the client's order, Psycho told AFP. The 42-year-old is among the first patients to be fitted for new prostheses in Germany with the help of the Intuitive to bring better care to Ukraine amputees. Russia's invasion has killed thousands and left many more with life-changing injuries. The World Health Organization said in May that more than 20,000 amputations had been carried out there since February 2022. But effective treatment for such severe injuries is often lacking in Ukraine. There is better knowledge here in Germany on how to make a unique prosthesis, according to Jenan von Wolfster-Joseph, whose organization LifeBridge UK is behind the program. So far, her organization has brought around 40 amputees to Germany for care, as well as 6 trainees who will return to Ukraine with new expertise. Walking on the prosthesis is an unusual sensation, said Psycho, but the former soldier is satisfied. I was not walking at all. I was confined to a wheelchair, said Psycho, who has undergone more than 50 operations and months of rehabilitation since losing his leg in combat last year. 3 months after coming to Berlin, Psycho said he feels complete again. He said, I had my wings clipped and now they have reappeared. Psycho's new limbs, a pair of sleek metal rods shod in black sneakers, were custom made for him at the Seeger Health Center in Berlin. Amputations done under pressure in Ukraine, sometimes in the field, do not always leave the stump in optimal condition for fitting with prosthesis, according to Michael Koehler from Seeger. For Psycho, like others, the operation led to little flash to cover the end of his leg bones well, a cause of additional discomfort for the veteran. Due to the bony structures, we have to make sure that we provide soft support inside the cup of the prosthesis, Kohler said. At Seeger's workshop in South Berlin, Kohler has been sharing his expertise with trainees from Ukraine like Anastasia Diskach. A physical therapist by training 23-year-old Diskach has been learning techniques ranging from making plaster cast of stumps to testing the finished prosthesis. As long as the work continues, we will continue to bring patients here, said von Wolfer-Stoff. After the initial phase, the occasional severely wounded patient from Ukraine will still be evacuated to Germany, while new trainees will come to Berlin. However, the plan is to slowly hand over to the new prosthetic center, which the program is helping to establish in Kyiv. The specialist equipment and materials needed to begin making high-quality prostheses will be supplied initially by LifeBridge Ukraine. We are looking to see what still needs to be ordered so that the prosthesis center is fully equipped, said von Wolfster-Stoff. Because the Ukraine capital continues to face Russian rocket attacks, the new center will be established in the basement of one of the city's hospitals. The underground location means it will be able to operate even if there is an air raid warning, said von Wolfster-Stoff. Currently, the supply of prosthetics in Ukraine is catastrophic, said Psycho, who spent 9 months of his rehabilitation in Ukraine. We need help, he said. With his German prosthesis, Psycho is managing to climb a staircase with ease, balance on a board or ride a bike, even if the effort brings him out in a sweat. When he returns home, the former soldier wants to be useful at the front in a different way. I have a lot of work to do. You can always find something to do in the rear. Your time is now 6:18 in the evening, and we will have more headlines coming up right here on koolNews at 6, so don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back to koolNews at 6. Back to the national headlines, the Philippines and Germany have agreed to deepen military cooperation, their defense ministers said on Sunday, as Manila pushes back up their series of confrontations with China. Japan Defense Minister Boris Pistorius and his Philippine counterpart Gilberto Deodoro met in Manila and pledged to sign a defense cooperation agreement by the end of the year. Deodoro said the agreement would focus on mutual understanding regarding capabilities, training, and exchange of information. There have been escalating confrontations between the Philippine and Chinese vessels in the disputed South China Sea, which Beijing claims almost entirely despises an international ruling that its association has no legal basis. We collaborate because we have a shared vision of respect for the United Nations Charter and our desire to see a stable and peaceful Indo-Pacific, Teodoro told a joint news conference with Pistorius in the Philippine capital. They vowed to build long-standing relations between their armed forces and flagged the possibility of Germany supplying military equipment to the Philippines. Manila has been seeking to boost defense ties in the Asia-Pacific region and beyond the face of China's increasing confidence in asserting its claims over the South China Sea. Pistorius is the first German defense minister to visit the Philippines. Germany is one of the Philippines' oldest formal defense partners through a 1974 administrative agreement that includes the training of Filipino troops in Germany. Pistorius said security and stability between the respective regions were interconnected and hoped the agreement would be signed before the end of the year, maybe already in October. The ministers strongly oppose any unilateral attempt to advance expansive claims, especially through force or coercion, Pistorius and Teodoro said in a joint statement. Pistorius told reporters that Germany's engagements in the region are not directed against anybody. He is expected to meet Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos on Monday, the last day of his 3-day visit. Now back to international headlines. Kamala Harris campaigned President Donald Trump's care Saturday after he proposed changing the debate schedule as the Republican rally in Georgia, seeking to blunt the vice president's surging momentum in her bid to become America's first woman president. In an overnight post on his Truth Social platform, Trump said he was willing to debate Harris on the conservative-leaning Fox News network on September 4, while declining to participate in a previously scheduled debate on ABC. Trump pitched the idea before going to a rally in Atlanta, where he gathered supporters in the same arena where Harris addressed an excited crowd of some 10,000 on Tuesday. The former president unleashed his extreme scaremongering on illegal immigration, falsely claiming there is a flood of murderers from around the world. He singled out Congo being led into the United States by Harris, who he said has destroyed our country. His rambling 92-minute speech also included Trump's oft-repeated lie that the 2020 election was rigged by Democrats. As for debating Harris, Trump said he had agreed to the plan with Fox, and he said it would occur in Pennsylvania, a crucial battleground in the presidential electoral system, before a live audience. We're doing one with Fox if she shows up, Trump told his Atlanta rally. I don't think she's going to show up, she can't talk. The Harris campaign dismissed Trump's idea as games. Donald Trump is running scared and trying to back out of the debate he already agreed to and running straight to Fox News to bail him out, Harris campaign communications director Michael Taylor said in a statement. He needs to show up to the debate he already committed to on September 10. Trump's proposal to confront Harris on Fox, a network that has long supported him, was his latest effort to recapture momentum in a campaign that had been focused on a rematch against Joe Biden until the 81-year-old dramatically dropped his re-election bid last month. Since then, Harris, age 59, has re-energized the Democratic base almost overnight. She has raked in donations, reassembled the team behind Barack Obama's two historic election victories, and neutralized the solid lead that Trump, age 78, had built against Biden in opinion polls. On Friday, she secured the official Democratic nomination, backed by near unanimous party support. Harris is due imminently to announce her vice presidential pick with the popular governor of key state Pennsylvania, Joe Shapiro, a frontrunner. On Tuesday, she launches a countrywide tour with her running mate. Facing a new rival, Trump was racing to define her to voters as he delivered a stream of personal attacks, calling her crazy, a Marxist prosecutor, and retro left freak who would cause a Kalama economic crash if she were elected. We have to work hard to define her, Trump told supporters. She's a horror show. Trump, however, stopped short of openly questioning his rival's racial identity. He drew gaps this week at the Black Journalist Convention by falsely claiming Harris, who has identified closely with her black roots all her life, recently became a black person for political convenience. On Saturday, Trump was joined by his vice presidential pick, Senator J.D. Vance, at a rally at Georgia, another battleground state that will help decide who wins on November 5. Vance seized on the theory popularized by Republicans that Harris and the White House coterie participated in a massive cover-up of the president's mental incapacity, referring to Biden's age-related capability to serve effectively. Anybody who is too blind to see Biden's incompetence or, let's be honest, too dishonest to admit it, doesn't deserve to be commander-in-chief, Vance told the crowd. Trump lost narrowly to Biden in Georgia in 2020, and the state was at the center of his unprecedented attempts to overturn the election results. The size of Harris' Tuesday rally was a warning sign to Trump's campaign, which was long touted its ability to draw thousands of passionate supporters, in contrast to Biden's usually meager crowds. The situation is a remarkable turnaround in a campaign where Trump had been appearing to gather force while Biden, hurt by a disastrous debate performance in June and mounting voter concerns over his mental acuity, was steadily slipping. Harris' rapid entry has left Trump's campaign scrambling, and Trump, now the oldest presidential nominee in U.S. history. Added to the changed dynamics, Harris is vying to become the first woman president and the first of Black and Indian racial heritage. A woman in her 70s was killed and 3 other people were wounded in a stabbing attack by at least one Palestinian in a suburb of Tel Aviv on Sunday, police and medics said, as tensions remain high across the region following the killing of 2 senior militants in separate strikes. The police said the attack was carried out by a Palestinian militant who was neutralized and that a search was underway for other suspects in Holon, where the stabbings occurred. Tensions have soared across the region since Hamas' October 7 attack ignited the war in Gaza last year. Israel is bracing for retaliation after the killing of a senior Hezbollah commander in a strike at Lebanon and Hamas top political leader in an attack in Iran's capital last week. The police initially said 4 people were wounded. Israel's Magen David Auto Rescue Service later confirmed that the woman had died. It said a 70-year-old man was in critical condition, a 68-year-old man was in severe condition, and the 26-year-old man was in moderate condition. The rescuers said the wounded were found in 3 different locations, each about 500 meters or yards apart. In Gaza, an Israeli strike earlier on Sunday hit a tent camp housing displaced people in the courtyard of Al-Qassam Martyrs Hospital, killing 4 people, including a woman, and injuring others, health officials said. They did not say whether those killed were civilians or fighters, and also say the press journalists filmed men rushing to the scene to help the wounded and retrieve bodies while trying to extinguish the fire. The hospital in Deir al-Balah is the main medical facility operating in central Gaza, and thousands of people have taken shelter there after fleeing their homes in the war-ravaged territories. Hamas-led militants killed some 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and took around 250 people hostage in their surprise attack into southern Israel last October, triggering the ongoing war. Israel's massive offensive launch in Gaza has killed at least 39,550 Palestinians, according to the territory's health ministry, which does not differentiate between civilians and combatants in its count. Heavy airstrikes and ground operations have caused widespread destruction and displaced the vast majority of Gaza's 2.3 million people, often multiple times. Hezbollah has regularly traded fire with Israel along the Lebanon border since the start of the war, and what the militant group says is aimed at relieving pressure on its fellow Iran-backed ally, Hamas. The continuous strikes and counterstrikes have grown in severity in recent months, raising fears of an even more destructive regional war. Over 590 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli fire in the occupied West Bank since the start of the war in Gaza, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry. Most have been killed during Israeli strike raids and violent protests. Israel captured the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem in the 1967 war, and the Palestinians want all three territories for their future state. Meanwhile, two Israeli airstrikes in the West Bank killed 9 Palestinian militants on Saturday, Israel's army said, as violence flared again in the Israeli-occupied territory, with tensions high over the war in Gaza and a potential regional escalation. Ceasefire discussions on Gaza continue, with an Israel delegation led by the Mossad chief really visiting Cairo, and Egyptian officials said. The US has urged Israel to seize the chance for a ceasefire after the shock killing of Hamas political leader in Iran, which Tehran blames on Israel. That killing and Israel's assassination of a Hezbollah commander in Lebanon have the region holding its breath for retaliation against Israel on either front or both after Iran and its proxies vote to act. Hamas said its command had begun discussions on choosing a new leader. In the northern West Bank, the Israeli army said its forces first struck a vehicle in the rural area outside the city and of Kol Haram early Saturday, killing the 5 occupants. The army said they were on their way to carry out an attack. Hamas identified all 5 as militants for the group, including a local commander. According to an Associated Press journalist and witness, says the blast took place along a road connecting the Palestinian villages of Sita and Kofe. We came to the site and found a young man murdered here on the street and half of his face was missing, said Kaiser Abdullah, a Sita resident. The official Palestinian news agency Wafa said 4 bodies were burned and charred beyond recognition. Later on Saturday, Israel's military said it killed 4 other Palestinian militants in the Toklam area shortly after they opened fire on Israeli troops. No further information was immediately available. And Russian President Vladimir Putin offered humanitarian assistance to help North Korea cope with damages from recent floods, both countries said, and another sign of expanding relations between the two nations. In a message to North Korean leader Kim Jong-un on Saturday, Putin extended, quote-unquote, deep sympathy and support and conveyed his willingness to provide immediate disaster aid to help North Korea recover from the floods, the North's official Korean Central News Agency reported Sunday. Russia's state news agency thus carried a similar report, saying that Putin told Kim in a message, "You can always count on our assistance and support." Ties between North Korea and Russia have been improving significantly amidst widespread outside beliefs that North Korea has supplied conventional weapons to Russia for its war in Ukraine in return for military and economic assistance. During a meeting in Pyongyang in June, Kim and Putin signed a pact stipulating mutual military assistance if either country is attacked in what was considered the two countries' biggest defense deal since the end of the Cold War. Kim expressed his gratitude to Putin over the aid offer, saying he could deeply feel the special emotion towards a genuine friend in the most difficult period. But Kim said North Korea has established its rehabilitation plans and will ask for Russian assistance later if it is needed, according to KCNA. Heavy rains on North Korea's northwestern region on July 27 flooded 4,100 houses, 7,410 acres of agricultural fields, and numerous other public buildings, roads, and railways, according to KCNA. The scale of casualties is known. KCNA recently quoted Kim as saying the flood caused a casualty that cannot be allowed but didn't elaborate. On Thursday, rival South Korea also offered humanitarian support to North Korea. Observers say North Korea will likely ignore or turn down the South Korean proposal, as animosities between the two countries are at one of their highest points in years. During a Friday visit to the military unit involved in operations to evacuate residents stranded by the floods, Kim called South Korea scum as he lambasted what he called rubbish South Korean media for allegedly tarnishing the North's image by extricating the death tolls from the floods. Kim didn't mention South Korea's offer to provide aid. Time check, it is now 6:41 in the evening, and we will be getting into the entertainment headlines coming up right here on koolNews at 6, as well as the sports. Stick around, we will be right back. to Cool News at 6. Now we are getting into the entertainment and sports. Let's start with sports right now. Millions worth of incentives await Paris Olympics 2024 men's floor exercise gold medalist Carlos Yulo and other potential winners from Team Philippines when they come home to celebrate their success. Yulo became this country's second Olympic gold medalist after 2020 Tokyo Games weightlifting champion Heidelin Diaz. He also emerged as the first Filipino gymnast to win it all when he ruled the floor exercise final, edging Ernest Wall defending champion Artem Goldblatt of Israel. The 24-year-old gymnast's life is about to change as he is set to receive a 10 million pesos incentive from the Philippine Sports Commission under Republic Act 10699 or National Athletes and Coaches Benefits and Incentives Act. Yulo will also receive a fully furnished two-bedroom unit worth 24 million pesos in McKinney Hill from Mega World, while Philippine Olympic Committee President Bumble Tolentino also pledged to reward the winners a house and lot like what he did for Diaz and 2020 Tokyo Olympic silver medalist Nesty Petecio and Carlo Paalam and bronze medalist Omar Maxial. The House of Representatives will also hand 3 million pesos to Yulo, while Vikings, Tipsy Pig, and other restaurants have pledged a lifetime of free food. When Diaz ended the 97-year gold medal drought of the Philippines, she received over 50 million pesos in incentives, including several house and lots, condo units, lifetime of free flights, gasoline, and other products. Yulo will also receive an Olympic gold medal of valor from the PSC. As incentives are expected to continue to pour in Yulo's victory, he has another chance to win another gold in the vault apparatus final on Sunday. The remaining Philippine athletes, including semi-finalists Ara Veligas and pole vault finalist AG Alpinina, have a chance to receive a cash incentive depending on the rankings, as 5 million pesos awaits the silver medalist, while 5 million pesos for the bronze finisher. Coaches of the medalists will also receive a cash incentive as long as they have trained the athlete for more than 6 months. For track and field athletes, Albina and Hercules John Kabang and Lauren Hoffman, International Container Terminal Services Incorporated, pledged 5 million pesos for the gold medalist and 2.5 million pesos for the coach, 3 million pesos for the silver medalist and 1.5 million pesos for the coach, and 2 million pesos for bronze and 1 million pesos for the tactician. Boxer Emil Kalev of Bulgaria clinched a medal at the Paris Olympics 2024 in an emotional fight Saturday that followed days of sharp scrutiny and online abuses as misconceptions about her gender exploded into a larger clash about identity in sports. Kalev defeated Anna Luka Hamori of Hungary with 5-0 score in the quarterfinals of the women's 66-kilogram division. Kalev will win at least a bronze medal after she comfortably earned the second victory of her tumultuous second trip to the Olympics. Kalev faced outcry fueled by claims from the International Boxing Association, which has been banned from the Olympics since 2019, that she failed an unspecified eligibility test to compete last year over elevated levels of testosterone. She won her opening bout at the Paris Games on Thursday when opponent Angela Carini of Italy tearfully abandoned the flight after just 46 seconds. That unusual ending became a sharp wedge to drive into an already prominent divide over gender identity and regulations in sports, drawing comments from the likes of former US President Donald Trump, Harry Potter writer J.K. Rowling, and others falsely claiming Kalev was a man or transgender. At a Paris Games that has championed inclusion and seen other outcry over an opening ceremony performance featuring drag queens, LGBTQ plus groups say the hateful comments could pose dangers to their community and female athletes. Kalev's second win in Paris appeared to be an emotional catharsis for the 25-year-old boxer from a village in northwest Bulgaria. After her hand was raised in victory, Kalev went to the center of the ring, waved to her fans, canoed, and then slammed her palm on the canvas, her smile turning to tears. She left the ring to hug her coaches while her fans roared, weeping during their embrace and as she walked out. Back home in Bulgaria, her family and fans watched with pride as she won her second bout. I'm happy for my daughter. She is courageous despite racist and sexual attacks to break her mother Erin said on Hungarian television. Hungary's boxing association said Friday that it planned to contest the match-up with the International Olympic Committee but still let the fight go ahead. After the bout, Hungarian OIC member Balázs Forges said alongside Hamori that she was adamant that it was never an option not to fight. I'm so proud of myself because I had to fight and I like to fight, said Hamori, who won 2 fights earlier in Paris. This was a hard fight, but I think I got to do everything I wanted for the fight, and I think in this fight, I am so proud of myself, and I am so grateful to be here. This was really a childhood dream. Forges read an equivocal statement in which he praised both Hamori and the IOC while indicating Hungary wasn't completely content. We Hungarians are always ready to fight bravely and fearlessly, and that's what Luka has just done and show us. Forges said, of course, the Paris box competitions have their consequences. These consequences must be carefully evaluated after the games. Kalev stopped briefly to speak to the Hungarian television crew, and then walked straight to the dressing room without stopping for dozens of waiting reporters. IOC President Thomas Bach earlier Saturday defended Kalev and fellow boxer Lin Yuteng of Taiwan. Kalev and Lin were disqualified in the middle of last year's Box World Championships by the IPA, the former governing body of Olympic boxing, after what they claimed were foot eligibility tests. Both had competed in IPA events for several years without problems, and the Russian-dominated body, which has faced years of clashes with the IOC, has refused to provide any information about the tests, underscoring its lack of transparency in nearly every aspect of its dealings, particularly in recent years. Let's be very clear here. We are talking about women's boxing. Butch said Saturday. We have 2 boxers who are born as a woman, who have been raised a woman, who have a passport as a woman, and who have competed for many years as women. And this is the clear definition of a woman. There was never any doubt about them being a woman. The IBA, which is led by an acquaintance of Russian President Vladimir Putin, disqualified Kalev last year and called information about the test confidential. What we see now is that some want to own the definition of who is a woman, Butch said, and there I can only invite them to come up with a scientific-based new definition of who is a woman, and how can somebody being born, raised, and competed and having a passport as a woman cannot be considered a woman. We will not take part in the sometimes politically motivated cultural war, he added. And now let's get into entertainment news. It was an unforgettable moment for the best of Beanie, also known as Blooms, as the P-pop girl group smash hit Tropical was performed by K-pop girl group ITZY. ITZY surprised Filipino fans during their Born to Be concert held at SM Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay City last Saturday, August 3, after Yeji, Ryujin, Acheryong, and Yuna did a short performance of Tropical. The Dala Dala hitmakers also posted a video of their Tropical cover on their official Instagram page. Sa isang Tropical, ITZY wrote, along with the hashtag what ITZY won 2024 while referring to their fans. Beanie Mika, who's known as a fan of ITZY, expressed her excitement over the K-pop girl group's cover on her ex, formerly Twitter page. Go, she wrote. Meanwhile, Beanie Gollet, Sheena, and Gwen reposted the cover on their respective ex accounts. Aside from ITZY, Mama Mo's Solar performed a cover of the hit track last June 2024, while Red Velvet's Erin danced to Tropical in a call with a Filipino fan. On the other hand, K-pop boy group Ritzy and Espas Ninking danced to Salmin at a fan concert and fan call, respectively. Lila, ITZY's main vocalist, was absent from the show due to health concerns. She will join the K-pop girl group for their upcoming album, which will reportedly be released in the latter half of the year. It looks like we are done here, so that will be it for koolNews at 6. As always, you can get in touch with us at tvhthephilippines.news@gmail.com. And we will be back with more headlines later with Cool News Prime Time at 9 o'clock in the evening. Until then, I am Cairo. Good evening, and we will see you later at 9 in the evening.